happened an eternity ago, which it's been like 8 weeks as an FYI. It's been a very long time. Thank you for your patience. Funny thing, it's been a very long time, but I didn't prep until last night. So. And my last note from last time, no joke, Sean can attest to this, was figure it out all in caps with stars. That was my last note from last session. So, where did we end off?
Still trying to open my notes. So, don't be me.
Well, we finally left for the grove, right?
Yeah. It was an hour and a half of sexual tension.
Yes.
Followed by an hour of
Sexual tension.
Sexual tension, and the rest of the crew trying to intervene into that and like kind of like encourage it, I guess.
Ending in a friend zone, if I remember.
a lot of confused borners.
Oh. Stupid, Sean.
My God.
I'm here for it.
Did we make it to the grove, or sound effects?
Did you do that on purpose? Okay.
No, I think we left off just past Trevor's camp, or
Yes.
by the camp.
Yep.
I forget if we went through it already, but we met them and we were told they were attacked by this big monster.
And we saw a giant fire elemental.
Yep.
And
Only 2 of you, right? Because the
We
rest
were
of us,
awake, right?
I think you were on watch, and the rest of us are
Yeah.
in the tent, sound asleep or
Right.
something.
Yep. And I threw...
We're in the tent, and silence has been cast on the hut, so we have no idea what's going on.
Oh, that's right.
Solid.
Who did that?
Commit to the bit.
I knew
did.
something happened at the end of our episode, so I was like, I need to verify what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I threw the brown mold on
Yes.
fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where we ended.
So you are... Oh. Sorry, Steph?
I was just saying, but my summary notes from last episode were preteen angst, love is not transactional, and writing Borback. Those are my top 3.
Hey.
You know what? That actually summarizes that first 90 minutes really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I might have to rename the episode.
It's not too late. We're gonna go weird demographic watching this one video.
No, we should just not. But yes, you are about a half day's travel away from the tender encampment at the edge of the Scorched Grove. You are now in a place where the air tastes of smoke, since you are so close to the part of Humblewood that has been just devastated by ever-burning fires. With you is the young Gallus druid Trevor, very pigeon-esque with a bright green throat. And the leader of the... I almost called them the chicken tenders. The leader of the tenders, the elder druid Astra, who is very morning dove with rosy cheeks, where a longer extended neck, kind of pink tones to her feathers, and a mantle of branches kind of attached to very simple clothing. The past 2 days you were able to fly with your druid friends, taking on the shape of giant eagles and giant owls, and with Aurora's tiny hut giving you...
And a duck.
Right, the duck. Yes, there was a duck, which is awesome.
Andrea hasn't seen the Mighty Ducks.
Why that doesn't need to come up right now.
It's the best bird-based movie that I can think of.
That's
Okay, we'll
incorrect.
watch
Lies.
Sorry. It was important.
Well,
You feel what we were talking about, sort of. I can follow the logic. Okay.
But with Aurora's tiny hut to keep you safe at night, the second night you spent on the edge of this grove, the trees showing the wear and tear of being just always exposed to the smoke of this place. Aurora and Apoc noticing a initial figure made out of fire, very Quillam-esque, moving slowly, bending down, seeming to pick something up and moving through. You see singe marks where their feet had touched the ground. And with an arrow shot by Apoc burning up as it hit this fiery figure. The figure itself reacted, transforming into this massive elemental being made solely out of flame, faces kind of rolling in and out of the figure itself. We are going to need to roll initiative for the two of you that are awake.
Whoop whoop.
Mm-hmm. Did the arrow look like it did anything?
The arrow...
That's so cool.
The arrow did look like it did something.
Okay.
I got a 20.
That's amazing.
Did you roll a natural 20?
No, I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
And
I got a 1, but it's +3,
Okay.
so it's a 4.
I will have everyone else roll initiative too, but you're not going to be dropped in unless you wake up. Which right now you are sound asleep in a nice little cushion of silence in a nice warm hut.
Is that interference?
Yeah.
Whatever you go with.
I think so.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Aurora's initiative is not.
Same thing.
Do you guys want a box? You can take this box. I can.
You can take this box. I don't need it.
Or you can put it in the middle.
Yeah, we'll share.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Much better.
Alright, Basil.
1 second.
Does everybody remember how to play D&D?
Yeah, I was
Long
like,
time.
what does my
Range
character do? 14.
What does the character do? Okay, Mrs. Q.
17.
L.
Dirty 20.
Ooh.
+9 to
Okay.
hit.
And I have Apoc at a 5, 4,
8
and Aurora at a 20. Okay.
+4.
Oh, I forgot to add Astra, who's also asleep, and Trevor, who's also asleep.
28 +4.
Okay. So first up, you see as this creature kind of turns and spots you. You were just kind of tucked over the massive root system. If you think of mangrove trees, where the root system is almost like a sheet, that's kind of the situation you're in. The ground is very rough, very hard to travel through. The elemental turning and seeing you and letting out a roar in your direction is going to charge straight towards you. And is going to...
save me!
Oh, now you want me.
Ooh.
is going to take... is going to take its 3 attacks across the two of you. So the first one to you, Aurora.
It hits.
Yes, it does.
Can I try and take the brunt of it? We're next to each other side by side?
You are... So Aurora's almost like peeking over while you have kind of stood up to launch your arrow. So you are side by side.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the elemental itself has kind of come to where you are sort of looking up at it now. As it rakes downwards towards you, you feel the heat kind of singeing away just in the proximity of this thing. So, did you want to do something?
I'm gonna take a reaction if I get hit, but
Okay.
that's about it.
So the first hit on Aurora, I swear whenever I hit you, Eric, I roll a max on damage die.
Yeah.
So you take 10 force damage.
Okay.
Plus 5 fire damage.
Cool.
As it strikes into you with one claw. The second claw coming down towards you, Apoc, that hits.
What is it?
It's a 23.
Okay, you can reduce the damage by 7.
Reduce the damage by 7. Okay.
As Apoc just kind of in the moment reflexively flexes his muscle, and all of his little fleas form these little spikes on his body.
Ooh, I like
as
it.
he gets a little spiny shield.
So as this comes down towards you and impacts that, you are able to negate that force damage. I rolled 7 force damage.
Okay.
However, the the proximity to this thing, you do take 11 points of fire damage as it just singes one whole side of your face. The hair significantly shorter on that side than the others.
Okay, 1 second.
Aurora, you would be up next. Apoc, you're on deck.
Okay.
Oh, that's a nat 20 on the con save.
For
Silence.
Maintain that. You are not going to drop this at all.
We're getting sound sleep. We're so rested right now.
You are able to drop it as a free action.
I know.
but
I know. In this moment, it's reflexive, right? Like it's.
You're trying hard to.
Yeah, I'm just instilling myself.
Okay, I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask from Eric to Andrea.
Wait a second, I forgot something. I forgot the brown mold.
Right.
I apologize.
Cool.
On that. However,
Figure this out.
I was to figure this out, and I wrote it down, and I forgot the brown mold, and I am so sorry because something really cool happens. I may have gone to Reddit for questions.
Love it.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with Reddit.
Never.
So, that is not true. So, Aurora, reflexively, as this thing started to show its faces, and you threw before it even charged, we're retconning a little bit, but it will not negate what just happened with the attacks. Go away. As you throw the brown mold and it shatters, you see, like a blink of an eye, it go from the tiny little sample that you had in the vial, as it just kind of explodes into like the size of a bear with the proximity to this. I would like you to throw a dexterity check just to see how close you got this to the creature's path to you.
15 plus dexterity, which, is 15. Saving throw or just...
A dex check as you were kind of just chucking it?
15.
Okay, that is enough. So you are able to chuck it right in between you and the creature. The creature was only about, if I remember correctly, 30, 40 feet away from you. So, as it bursts and grows, you feel this kind of instant wave of cold as it bursts before it is very quickly replaced by hot from the fire elemental once more, just the area of where you were. Okay. But you do see this fire elemental recoil, kind of letting out a high-pitched scream as it continues its movement towards you. And let's do didn't make it. So I will get you to roll me. I'm going to get you to roll me 4d8, please.
Ooh,
Aurora.
I don't have that, but I'll just do this.
Do you need some?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, nice.
Roll. 17.
17. As you see it kind of recoil, but still making its way towards you to take its attacks. And you do see as the molds, as the elemental had moved through, leaving footprints in the mold instantly growing back, and it seems to almost move towards you, following in the creature's wake.
Nice. Yeah.
It was, 17 you said?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Question for you. When we got hit, it was force damage and fire damage?
Yes.
So the fire damage I had to reduce by half.
Okay.
Because I have the ring of
The
fire
ring of
resistance.
fire resistance, yes.
Forgot about that.
Okay. Now it is your turn. I apologize, I forgot about that.
I just look over and I just start yep as I start barking at him. As you see like my fur starting to shimmer with the glisten, my eyes starting to pop with that bright blue energy. As I'm casting my form of dread, nice. Teeth sharpened and sapphire over. So I get 10 hit points temporary. And okay, so this is from Eric to Andrea.
Okay.
How familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh are you?
If you had to guess on a scale from not at all to very much, where would you guess that, Eric?
Like a 3.
Not at all.
Okay.
0.
Okay.
It's a card game, right?
So I pull out my deck of cards.
Okay.
The heart of the cards.
Heart of the cards. And I like shuffle quickly. And with like 2 fingers, I pull out a card from the middle of the deck. and raise it up. And what you see on it is just a robed figure with a giant scythe. And as the card in my hand burns up, you see a similar figure rise up behind this creature.
Whoa.
Yo, so sick.
Very cool.
So what
So
exactly
sick.
have you just done?
I summoned the Avatar of Death to fight this thing for us.
So sick.
Right. Okay.
Casually.
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 Yeah.
Aurora summons Avatar. Okay.
And it gets to take its turn after mine.
All right.
Nice.
I
It's good.
don't know how I can do that in the order. Oh, I can.
There you go.
Avatar.
Oh.
of-
I'll keep track of that. It's gonna attack it twice.
Okay, go for it.
First attack probably doesn't hit. That's a like a 15.
15. The avatar swings and it does miss. It does
Okay.
not hit this
And
one.
second attack, 21.
Yes, that will hit.
Okay, so that'll be 8 points of necrotic damage.
Nice.
Ooh, that's a good one. As you see the flames almost blacken where the avatar hits it before reforming.
And then it would like to take its bonus action.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have read this ahead of time.
That's okay.
It must make a wisdom saving throw,
Okay.
or else it's afraid of the avatar of death.
Ooh.
That's a nat 20.
Yeah, she's rolling with skulls in her dice.
Cool.
I don't think that
Love
has an effect.
Yeah, no fear.
Fear nothing. Okay.
Mhm.
Anything else on its
Oh,
turn? /your turn?
So it is haunted, but currently the haunting has no effect on it while
Okay.
it's saved.
That
To
is
find more omens
so
around the
cool.
house.
Okay. Everyone else is still sound asleep. As Apoc, it is your turn.
Sorry, guys. Stay close to me. I can keep it off of you. I'm going to pull out my bow once again
Okay.
and point towards it,
Mhm.
and you see that giant arrow appear over its head, like he's done it before. As the hunter mark now appears on this elemental, and the silence on the group is dropped.
Nice.
Oh, the first thing you all would hear is massive roaring. But we'll see if you wake up.
The second thing you'll hear is, check out my boar log.
Yes.
As it goes off twice towards this monster. I'll take both my shots.
Okay.
It's in... That's a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
And the dirty 20 to hit.
Both hit.
Okay, so the first attack is going to be... reroll this one. Yeah, that's much better. First attack's going to be 15 piercing damage.
Okay.
And the second attack... Oh, that's not good. 8 piercing damage.
8 piercing damage. Okay. As you fire off 2 arrows very quickly into this thing, it seems like it goes right through without even harming it.
Sorry.
Um,
Adding another 11 for Jeremy and his crew.
whoa. Good job, Jeremy.
Yeah. Just forgetting something.
Yep. But you almost see your arrows and Jeremy forcing through take like some of the flame with it as the arrow exits this figure, kind of landing in the area behind, on the ground behind it. Anything else on your turn?
Oh. Sorry, I fucked that up. Take 5 off.
Take 5 off.
Yeah, because it's only once. We're still learning D&D.
We're getting back into
We're
it.
learning
It's okay.
this. No, that's everything.
Okay. So next.
Sorry, I want to position myself in front of Aurora.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are kind of still face to face with this thing, almost climbing onto the root to get in.
Are we
between
face to
you and
face right
Aurora.
now? Shit.
Between you and this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that would have all been a disadvantage.
I don't.
You good with it? Okay.
Keep
Okay.
the pace moving.
All
It's
right.
okay. But to get in between, you have to like climb onto the root and almost make yourself taller than Aurora to kind of block her from
I do
which
it.
means you're looking at his butt.
It just
Can't-
like tightens a
Can't
little bit.
complain about the view.
So next in the order is Astra. With the silence gone, she will be making, and she's asleep, so it will be her passive perception is pretty high. At this point, she would be able to sort of hear what's going on and start to shake herself out of it. As the noises are kind of... The dome doesn't prevent sound, does it? It doesn't muffle sound.
I can D&D.
God, that's more than I could do right now.
No, it doesn't seem so.
Okay. So she is stirred awake with a high enough passive perception. She is stirred awake as she starts to blearily sort of wake up, kind of instinctually reaching over to make sure Trevor is still next to her. And just starting to get her bearings where you are not very far away from the dome. You're only about 15 feet away from the dome, the two of you. So the first thing she sees opening her eyes is just this blaring light from the elemental itself. But she takes the start of her turn to just get her bearings and get to her feet. And that's about all she can do this round. Trevor, who... Oh my gosh, I gotta open a new tab. Is next in the order, but who does not have a very high passive perception. Trevor.
Don't worry, guys. Death's on our side.
So Trevor, even with Astra kind of shaking him awake, going on with what Lachelle said, is too deep into their nightmares and their PTSD nightmares that they aren't able to be woken in this first go around. But Astra is awake, and you almost start to hear her shout out what is happening. Back to the top of the order, you see Aurora and Apoc. You as well now see as the brown mold almost seems to get right up to the heels of this thing. I'm going to get you to roll another 4d8, Aurora, because it did not save this go around again.
Okay.
Ooh. Brown mold coming in hot.
Let's go. 16.
Oh, okay. As it shouts once more, kind of screaming in pain, and even more furiously is going to go all into the thing that's right in front of him, which is you.
Yeah.
It's going to take its 3 attacks, and we'll see. Oh, you are lucky.
What was it?
Its special ability does not recharge, so the extra fire damage is not part of these attacks.
Would it just be fire damage?
That is a 24 to hit.
So that one hits. I'll block it with the reaction, so subtract 5.
You're going to take 4 force damage. That's with the subtract 5.
Okay.
Second attack, 25.
Yeah, that hits.
You're going to take 7 force damage.
Okay.
Third attack, dirty 20.
Yeah, it hits.
Oh, I rolled a 1. You're going to take 5 force damage as the 3, instead of claws this time, it's almost just like punches, but kind of straight at you, almost trying to knock you off of your perch.
Yeah. The hunter's mark jobs.
Oh,
It's okay.
buddy.
That's fine.
As it is in this rage, the heat just kind of there, hanging in the air. It's almost getting hard to breathe because of the heat. That ends its turn, Aurora.
Okay. I'm going to start off with, since I'm looking at a decently tight boarback, I'm gonna yank on your tail. I'm assuming, and just pull you back just a bit. So I'm gonna take the deck of cards again, just to move you out of the way. As I just whip and throw all the cards scattered out in front into this creature's face. Nice. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
You pulled a Rodri.
Yeah.
You cast 52 pickup.
As I cast spray of cards. Yes, 52 pickup is what it is.
Spray of cards?
Yeah.
Is that really
It's
what
a
it's called?
new spell, baby.
Oh my god.
It's so good.
Dexterity saving throw, you said?
Yes, 15.
Yeah, it beats it.
Okay.
23.
Okay.
I love that spray of cards.
Yeah.
That is
It will
so
take some
cool.
damage.
Okay.
12, 6 force damage.
Oof, okay.
And it is not blinded by the cards as they
Oh, damn.
burn.
Oh, that's cool though.
That would have been really nice.
Okay. Your avatar is up next.
Yeah, and it's just going to be just kind of pointing, and you can see what looks like a corvum bone structure come from the hand as it's wielding its scythe, and it's just swinging once and then twice into it. First one is a 9, second one is a 8.
Fortunately, both miss, unable to take the fire.
That's cool.
Um,
And then
like
wisdom
the door.
saving throw on this turn.
Wisdom saving throw.
As long as it's up, it
It is a 7.
will be frightened of this avatar, so which is behind him, which is not necessarily the best. So,
But frightened is still disadvantage as long as the thing is there, if I remember correctly.
it can't. It's disadvantage against attacking the creature, and it can't go closer to death.
So it's disadvantage against attacking the avatar of death
I believe so.
only.
I believe so. I'll check it up while you're
Sure.
doing
Yeah.
other stuff.
We'll keep it
When
moving
it's within
here.
its sight or something.
Elle, with your passive perception, I'm going to get you to make a perception check at advantage to see if you wake up with all of the noise happening around you.
So yes, disadvantage if it's within its line of sight. So if it's behind it,
Okay.
good.
Okay. I would say that with strikes being hit from behind, it would turn and notice that death is there. I'm not going to deny you the frightened condition. That's its whole thing, so it is frightened.
All good.
Elle.
I rolled a 6 and a 7, so a 9 and an 8.
Okay.
Nice.
Unfortunately,
So,
you are just
No,
like
mine.
trying to stay curled in, not yet opening your eyes in that half awake, half dream, thinking that everything you're hearing is currently in your dream.
I'm having a bad dream.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mrs. Q, with your passive perception, I'm going to need you to make a perception check with advantage because Astra is currently moving and the noises are getting louder and louder.
With advantage means roll twice.
Roll twice, take the higher.
Just 13.
Okay, so 13 is my highest.
13 is your highest, that's enough. You just needed to
Whoa!
get a little bit extra here.
What's going on here?
Exactly. So you are stirred awake by Astra moving. You see her on her feet. You see Elle trying to scrunch down, and you are pretty much blinded for a hot second as your eyes pop open. The heat, although it's nice in the dome, you can almost feel it around you, and you see Apoc standing, trying to block Aurora, who has just thrown cards. You see death incarnate behind this massive fire elemental. You have a limited turn waking up this
No
first
problem.
round. Is there an action you would like to take?
What does Mrs. Q look like when she just wakes up?
She's got her like cold cream on, and she had a face mask that was pink and frilly, and so the face mask gets pushed up, and she's just covered in like purple cream. It's just, yeah, she's trying to keep the wrinkles at bay. She's old. In her first thing that she will do, because she does keep a weapon close by, which is her frying pan. Because you always need one. As she just goes to grab it, she doesn't do anything yet. Except if you'll allow, she would cast Invoke the Amaranthine to prepare herself for battle.
Sure, the battle instinct's kicking in.
Yeah,
allowing
it's like
you to-
I'm gonna need this.
Yep, that's fair.
So, okay, I will do that.
Okay. So preparing, getting yourself up and ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the cream stays on.
The cream stays on. It's getting a little kind of...
It's a little melty.
It's a little melty. Basil, with your lower passive perception, I'm going to need a perception check at advantage to see if you wake up.
Okay.
Apoc, you are on deck.
Go ahead.
So that's a 9.
That's a 9. Unfortunately, with the weight of your armor, kind of the weight of everything, you're still kind of curled up like a little field mouse.
I
and it's
imagine
not
it as like,
staying awake.
think of it as like, Sir Basil's got his sword stuck in the ground, and maybe there's like, there's a pole. He's got his cloak that kind of like
Yes.
blows. He's kind of tied it like almost like a, what are they called? Thing you sleep in.
A hammock?
A tent.
like a
Hammock.
hammock. And because it like has magic to blow, it's like rocking him. So it's just like,
Yes, you're extra cozy, extra
Yeah.
asleep for one more round. Apoc.
Okay, I'm right in front of
Does
him.
get easier to wake up
Okay.
with rounds that go
cool.
on.
Can I tell this creature is afraid of death? Like would I be able to see that? It's on the other side of him.
You would see as death swung, even though death missed, you'd see the creature still notice that it's there, turn, and as the presence kind of encapsulates the creature, you would see it almost sort of shrink away, as anybody would,
Okay.
seeing something they're afraid of.
Okay.
For example, I run out of the room with
Yeah.
spiders. That would be what you would see in this chaos being right there.
Okay. Yeah, I want to pivot around to the other side
Okay.
to where death is,
Okay.
and then step back so I'm out of melee range.
Okay. So if you are going to step back,
Yeah.
it will take a swipe at you.
Yeah, because if I don't, I'm at disadvantage.
It's a 12.
Does not hit.
Okay.
Perfect. And then you're going to see as a bonus action, Apoc just start hovering up behind Death Incarnate, 10 feet into the air. Like he's practiced before with all of the fleas carrying him, lifting him up slowly.
I love this scene that you're painting.
Yeah.
This needs to go. Where's the shell? She would do it in the AI art generator in real time. Okay.
Angels and death will strike you down.
Jesus.
Because he thinks he's like... as I'm going to take my shots.
Mm-hmm.
First one is a 19.
That hits.
Second one is not a 19.
What is it?
It is a miss.
Okay.
It was a nat one.
Okay.
We're very back and forth today.
So for that
no
first
hunter's
hit.
mark. I am going to use one of the charges on my bracers
Ooh, yeah.
to empower the attack with extra force damage. So... So that's going to be 9, 10, 14. That's going to be 24 points of damage.
Whoa.
11 of which is just typical piercing.
Okay.
So 13 force, 11 piercing damage.
Okay.
If that matters.
For this one, it does not, but good to separate you
Okay.
out. As you strike with this, you see the creature very much writhe in pain as much as this thing made of fire can. And you see it getting more and more frenzied, kind of looking over its shoulder, looking back. You almost see its stature start to shrink just a little bit, and that Corvum face returning more to the features of this creature. With other, you swear you see a wing that disappears back into this more skeletal, extended arm with extended fingers. A tail that kind of forms and then recedes as this creature's form is sort of writhing in pain, terrified of death and seeing you fly up behind it. Anything else on your turn?
No, that's it.
Okay.
It's all my biz.
All your biz. Astra, next in the order, is going to Mrs. Q from where you are. You see her charge out of the dome. Hands starting to wave, and the two of you hear Astra's voice kind of piercing through. Oh, what does she sound like? You need to stop! This isn't what you think it is! Please don't hurt it! And you see as she kind of crouches and spreads her arms and flaps a very strong downward flap in her form, her morning dove form, landing pretty much right on top of where you just were, Apoc, that branch, or that root, just outside of its range. And you see her kind of move her hand through the air, and water starts to spray outwards, forming what looks like almost like a semicircle of just solid water that seems to flow continuously like a current as she casts Wall of Water to essentially try to cut all of you off from the creature in the wall, like a semicircle holding it. A semicircle between you and Death and the creature, and Aurora on the other side and the creature, her being at the center. As she has her hands kind of raised, holding it there. You see her looking to both of you, Aurora on her right and Apoc on her left, at 2 different levels. The magic's here, how strange. This is not something you need to hurt. This is a perversion. This is a soul that just needs to rest. Something the fire has taken. They're common in these parts. Please don't attack it. It will finish what it came here to do and it will vanish. Please.
What's it gonna do?
What did you see it doing?
Came at us.
She is going to look a little more confused as she looks at the creature in front of her with the avian features that start to disappear and reappear and disappear as she holds her hands up, trying to cut you off from this creature and this creature from you.
What was it doing?
It was
Picking up things?
walking peacefully and then ignited in fire. And we came here to fight the fires, so we tried to do just that.
This is not a fire. This is something that the fire has caused. This place, it's cursed, it's perverted. The fire has taken whatever soul was here, whatever soul died here.
A little more heads up next time might be
I didn't think we would see one this far in. They're normally closer to our camp where we can control them. But that will
Apoc,
be her turn.
what do you think we should do?
I don't know. Does it look like it's stopping?
It is very agitated right now, being where it is. Astra has imparted his knowledge onto you. You can do as you wish.
Guys, we might need your help.
Trevor, finally stirring awake. Kind of not even stirring, just soaked in sweat from his nightmares.
Like Usher.
Like Usher, yeah. Like Usher at the Super Bowl. Is sort of looking around, and the first thing he sees is the leader of the tenders with a wall of water around a massive fire elemental. And he doesn't have the highest constitution, so Trevor is going to almost scurry backwards and try and recoil a little bit, needing to rally before anything else. Once more, the brown mold back to the top of the order is now forming a semicircle encompassing right where the water is, starting to move around and encompass this thing. Oh my god, it's rolling so bad. Roll another 4d8 for the brown mold as it again did not save.
25.
Yikes.
The brown mold has done like 70-ish points of damage to this thing.
So Basil's just...
He little twitches like the REM. He's so cute. His little hammock.
Yeah.
Just little
I want a gif of this.
The hammock's like one of your napkins or like your handkerchiefs.
Yeah.
He's just that small.
Yeah.
As you see the brown molds start to move around and almost move up the flame as it kind of moves up, and the flame crackles and it falls, and it rotates up and the flame crackles and it falls. You see this fire elemental, as the brown mold is almost taking out chunks of it, is shrinking in size back from this like massive creature to something closer to your height. So a little bit taller than Astra, who is the tallest of this crew, but very much making this once terrifying thing a little more accessible. It is its turn as it is moving around and tries to, seeing the fury in it as it is continuously hurt, is going to move towards. They're all kind of right there. Would probably try and actually hit this new creature that just summoned a bunch of water. So it will actually take a swipe towards Astra through the water wall itself.
No.
And hit. Oh. Does not get its fiery charge back, but as you see its hand extend out through the water, as it itself screams and takes damage from that. And you see as the hand kind of moving through almost turns from this flame to almost like burnt ember, like a skeletal hand, as it just reaches out and kind of pierces into Astra's chest as she sort of stumbles backwards, but maintains the concentration on the wall of water itself. Keeping it held aloft, you see like a little paper cut trickle of blood from where she was essentially poked by this thing as it pulls its hand back. Very Moana-esque.
Nice.
With the lava
yeah.
monster that when it hits water. It does have 3 attacks. It can also move. Knowing that the water burned it, it is going to try and move backwards out of the semicircle. It doesn't have a whole lot of movement. How big is this water? Okay, so it is able to move out, and it's going to move towards you, Aurora, as it moves out. However, it is 5 feet short.
You're on your own this time, sorry.
It's not going to move towards death, but it is going to move towards you, and it's just going to stay there, kind of looking at you from 5 feet away, as it did not have enough movement to make it to you.
Okay.
But you see its form just shudder as it keeps kind of switching between this avian and this elemental creature. It is your turn. You are up next, face to face with this thing.
All right. Whew. Astra, what do we do?
If you don't attack it, it shouldn't hurt us.
I mean, it's been hurting us.
Did you attack it first? It's reactive. It's a cursed thing. It's a soul that is given formation from the fire only to complete what it came here to do and then vanish.
And we came here to complete something as well, and then vanish back to the Elder Heart. But it's a fire elemental. We gotta stop it.
She's just gonna
What
kind of shake
do you want me to do? Can I neutralize it?
If you don't attack it, it will not attack you.
Is it helpful? Will it help us?
It is neutral. It won't help and it won't harm.
Papa
You
said
can
don't.
see it, can't you?
Poppy
Poppy?
said don't trust anybody that claims to be neutral, and they'll just stab you in the back. Yeah, I'm gonna stick both my hands into this creature.
Okay.
Whoa.
So you're gonna walk up to it. You're gonna close the distance.
Yeah.
And reach out towards it.
And you know what? Sorry, Death. You're gonna see it disappear.
Oh, okay.
As my hands stick into it, at the start of its turn, it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
My cool shot.
It's cursed. It's cursed.
Does that do anything for its wisdom save?
No, on its turn.
Isn't it already cursed?
That's a 9.
Okay. I can't do anything on its next turn.
Ooh. Okay. But frightened would go away because death is gone?
Yeah. It must use its action to waste its turn.
It must use its action to waste its turn. Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Anything else on your turn, Aurora? That's awesome.
That's it.
Okay. Elle. the noise of the battle is getting louder and louder and louder. Now there's rushing water, so go ahead and make a perception check at advantage. You just need to beat a 10 to wake up.
I rolled a 1 and a 15, so 17.
Okay.
Yay.
So as the noise is not stopping, good gravy, what is going on? And you have no choice but to open your eyes. You have essentially your bonus action is to wake up, so you do have like an action and a movement that you can spend this turn seeing this. But it will take half your movement to get up from sleeping. Is there anything you'd like to do, kind of seeing the scene before you? Astra starting to lower her hands, a wall of water. Aurora is touching a fire elemental. Apoc is hovering above the ground. Basil is fast asleep. And Trevor is weeping in the corner.
I'm gonna throw my blanket over Trevor so like he doesn't need to watch this.
Like a bird in a cage.
Yeah.
And then take
He's a
take whatever movement to get up and at least try to move out of the hut because I can see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can.
I just want to get closer to kind of like have a vantage where I can see everybody and kind of see what's going on. But other than that, I don't think there's much I can do.
So you would be able to get within 10 feet of the creature. Essentially, Aurora and the creature are the closest things to you, and they're, because you moved about 15 feet away from you on the ground. Astra is up on a massive root, along with Apoc, so just above you. But you are within like 10, 15 feet of everybody.
Hmm.
And I can see this elemental, and can I like gauge that? With it being like a nature-based creature, can I gauge that it's? I guess I can't tell how this all started. I just kind of walk into everything being on fire.
Yes, you have no idea how this started, except for like you catch the ending of Astra basically saying like it's cursed, it's broken, it's perverted in this area. But that's about it.
Yeah. And then after she says that, I immediately go to grab it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Are you trying to glean something about this creature?
She's trying to tell what kind of magic. I guess she's trying to tell if the creature is here against its will or if it's...
So go ahead and give me an Arcana check. I know, aren't they the cutest thing in existence?
Pretty dang cute.
19.
19.
Yeah.
So you, in your studies, know about the elemental planes. You know, especially now, knowing the link you may have to the elemental planes and to the elements and to those first children. And reading about elementals and aspects of different elemental planes. This one doesn't seem to fit the description. Yes, it's made of fire, but you see its form shifting to bird folk. You see the tail, you see the talons, you see the feathers, you see the beak appearing and disappearing. And you get the sense that something, it's almost like it's a combination of two things is what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Like something from this plane that got combined with something from a different plane. So you don't get the sense that it is a true fire elemental.
Okay.
With a knife.
And is detecting that, is that my action?
I would say probably.
Okay.
Considering you'd really have to think about what this is that you're looking at to try and make that kind of determination.
And I'm wondering if I can yell like one question at Astra.
Yep, talking is always a free action. What would you like to yell?
Is this the Glades magic?
The Grove? The Grove's magic?
The Grove's magic?
You see Astra kind of sort of startled that you're awake, looking over her shoulder as she's trying to keep tabs. And she just kind of looks at you, and you see for the very first time in the bright light of the fire, but the dim light of everything else, you see what can only be described as age on her face. As she looks at you very solemnly and just kind of nods and yells back quickly, "Souls that are lost here get stuck and get trapped. This is one of them."
Okay. I don't think I can move any closer, but I'm gonna stay within the area of action and wait to see if I can do something next round.
Sounds good. Mrs. Q, you are up. You are up, you are awake, you are standing. You have your fry pan. You hear this exchange. You see Aurora, hands in the chest of this thing. You see Basil asleep, and you see Trevor quivering under a blanket. There's just a lot going on. What would you like to do?
How far away am I from Astra?
So same kind of deal as Elle. So what's your movement? 25 feet. So you can get within 10 feet of Astra.
Okay.
And Astra's high up on the roof,
Astra's
you said?
higher up. She's one head above you.
Mm-hmm.
So one you above you kind of thing.
Right. Okay. Mrs. Q ties a little pink house robe up over her frilly
I
nightgown.
like that the urgency is just not there.
I'm
You're
just
just not worried. You're just what is this ruckus?
Yeah.
She walks over to Astra and Mrs. Q looks sad at the thought of this trapped soul. She is saddened by this. The initial we have to do something about it has changed. She just sort of it's not completely. She recognizes that we are in the midst of something, but the flavor has changed because it's no longer an enemy. It's a helpless thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she asks Astra, is there anything we can do to free it?
You ask Astra that? She looks farther over her shoulder before finally kind of turning. You're in her back now. And she just kind of looks at you. You notice the same solemnness in her face. And she just sort of shakes her head. Nothing we can do. It has to just complete the reason it was here. We've seen them pick flowers and vanish. We've seen them pray and vanish. We've seen them reach to pick fruit in trees that no longer bear fruit and vanish. We've seen them read a book and vanish. It just has to complete its task. And then it will vanish.
What happens when the grove stops burning?
I can't answer that. It's been burning for years. Centuries.
Okay. She then asks, if you lower your wall, will it continue attacking, or can we just let it be?
If we don't attack it, it will lose its ferocity. Yeah. It will lose its ferocity. And it will just go back to what it was doing. And then it will disappear. That is what they do. It's a reminiscence of conjuration magic. Like an echo from where this grove came from. Souls from our world just get stuck temporarily. That's what this is. It's an echo.
Aurora, maybe disengage.
It's on fire, right? I'm holding this thing on
yeah.
fire. Cool.
Is that your turn, Mrs. Q?
Yeah, she's not gonna fight this thing.
Okay.
I am gonna look at you and acknowledge what you said, and you can see the gears are spinning.
I thought you were gonna say acknowledge what you said, but ignore it anyway. This is good. This is good.
Duly noted. Basil, go
Yes.
ahead and make a perception check at advantage.
Yeah.
You have to hit a 10.
Come on, bro, wake up.
There we go.
Ah, okay. We're up.
Okay.
We're up.
You stretch and fall out of the hammock, and that's what wakes you up. You are like technically still prone on the ground,
Sure.
so half your movement to get up, but you catch the end of this exchange, and you see a look exchanged between Aurora and Mrs. Q. You see Astra kind of holding on to this wall of water. You see Elle. You see this elemental that Aurora is clinging onto right now. Knowing that's all you see, what do you do?
So I can see it, but I can't. I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear the full exchange. You kind of got like a rolling forward, totally vanishes, just let it vanish sort of situation.
Okay. So how much? I don't have a full turn, right? Like I have.
So you would be able to get within 10 feet of Aurora with your movements. Waking up is, I'm considering your bonus action, so you don't have a bonus action. You
Okay,
just have
sure.
an action and half your movement. You have 15 feet. So you could either get up to Astra or 5 feet away from Aurora. Kind of like, sort of situate. Yeah, whatever this means.
But Aurora's like holding on to this thing,
Correct.
so I could get pretty much right up to this thing.
You would not be able to take a swing at it.
Okay.
You would
okay,
still be
gotcha.
10 feet away from it.
Gotcha. In that case, I'll probably just Basil kind of really flustered, just trying to take it all in the few seconds that like he's piecing everything together. He just grabs his weapons, runs out as up to, I'll say, who's closest? Astra is closest.
So Mrs. Q and Elle would be closest. You could make it closer to Astra, or you could make it closer to. They're kind of in a triangle, so you either go this way or this
I'll go
way.
kind of in between them.
Okay, so you're one step farther. You're one step in front of Mrs. Q and Elle, essentially.
Mhm.
So Astra is like 5 feet away, and Aurora's 10
Yeah,
feet away.
and so Basil will just yell out, "What is this? What's going on?" Just trying to take it all in, like, what's happening?
Talking is a free action.
It's not a thing, but it's a thing. We don't know if we should hurt it.
What do you mean?
We've been told that we probably shouldn't hurt it.
But we've been told to get rid of the fire.
I think more detail has now been received, such that this is not the thing we are fighting.
So we're just letting it be?
Yep,
But what if she's wrong?
I think she is likely to have more expertise in this field than we are.
Insight. Do I
Into
believe that?
Mrs.
Astra.
Q?
Astra.
Into Astra, make an insight check.
We never did this. Yeah, I believe her.
Maybe the druids know what she's talking about.
Some new dice.
What did that one?
It was a 4. I don't even know what it adds
Yeah,
to.
that's fair.
So Basil's just gonna, holding his sword, not necessarily drawing it, but just standing at the ready to say, how do you want to end it? He'll say something like, whatever it does, I'll stand at the ready, and he'll just be watching it, and he'd be like, I'll take your lead, and just standing there.
Okay. All right. Apoc, you're up.
Was there a figure inside of it?
So you saw, I should have sent this at the beginning, but you essentially saw,
You said like skeletal hand.
Yeah.
that was more flavor text. I'm not going to lie, because it was fire through water
Okay.
sort of situation, but the figure that you initially saw looked very much like this, and I realized I should also send it to the group and not just to you.
Not just me? Okay.
Yeah. So the figure looked very much like a
Whoa.
like a bird, except that it was like a corvum,
That's
except
very
that it was
cool.
made
I
of
love that.
So
It looks like it's flexing.
That's
too,
the
like,
full elemental though. But you said the flickering.
So
Right?
this was that initial form that you saw, gently bending down,
Okay.
standing up and walking. The
Oh.
elemental form itself like tripled in size, grew
Okay.
more ferocious, like elongated fangs, elongated
Okay.
claws.
But
How-
it is not
how-
as big now, correct?
It is bigger than you all, taller than Astra, who's fairly tall.
Sure.
It's around like that 8-foot mark kind of thing.
How
So
big?
it's still big, but it's flickering in its
How
form.
big was this initial thing?
This initial thing was closer to Astra's size, a little
Okay.
bit shorter, so like a 6.
So to my belief, this was like a fiery bird inside.
That is what you saw before you attacked it.
Okay. And do I see it? Well, I've got a big wall of water in front of me. But when it was flickering, was it the whole thing was disappearing, or was it like I could see this thing still inside of it? Like, would I believe there's a physical being inside of this elemental?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Oh, come on, don't fail me now.
No whammies, no whammies.
Gotta go to my insight. 12.
12? I mean, you saw the transformation. You would get the sense that it's not a smaller thing inside of a bigger thing. Because you saw it shrink in stature and you saw very much like a wing grow and
Okay.
then recede. It didn't look like the arm was changing necessarily, just that
Okay.
like a memory of it was trying to come out and then being receded back as it kept getting attacked.
Alright. Okay, so we wait. Not doing anything.
Okay.
If
it-
there was a figure, I was gonna dive through the water inside of it. So cool.
Oh, sorry, love. That would have been pretty cool.
Like tackle it out.
Yeah.
Astra is next as you see her drop the wall, since she can't move it on my very quick reading the spell. And she is going to take one more powerful leap with her wings and actually flap, closing the distance to where you are currently grabbing onto this. And she is just going
like
to...
just putting like hands on it. I'm like trying. I'm not grabbing.
So all of this is
It's
wrong.
not, it's not grabs. It's just
It's just this.
A gentle, like.
no. It's
And she is going to essentially face to face with this thing where it still looks ferocious this close. As you see its form flicker, she's just going to try to reach out and look at you in the eyes and just try to grab onto your wrists. Please let go. You have to trust me on this one.
What do you do?
She's not going to force you to let go, but she is going to, that will be her turn. Trevor, we're going to make a little constitution saving throw. It's good though!
Go Trevor!
ruin this for us.
Nobody sees this, but in like very superhero fashion, you see the blanket stop shaking as it just kind of gets pulled down by Trevor, who stands up
His
to
game
his full
face,
height.
you know?
His game face is on.
Hey.
Sees that the fight is no longer really happening and just slowly walks out.
Oh,
And just kind of stands beside you. Elle and Mrs. Q, you're the closest ones to him, so he just kind of stands there.
But
This is
Trevor's
cute.
just like, I got this.
Yeah. Is everything okay?
it's all good. We'll
Okay.
handle it. You okay?
Good now.
That's good.
Back up at the top of the order, the brown mold.
We're gonna
Uh,
die here.
Yeah.
Is going to weave its way back around. The creature's not far. It only made it 10 feet around and out of it. And it's still the hottest thing here. How far can the brown mold go? Brown mold
it's
can...
pure chaos play.
Yeah, I know, it was great.
Remind me, the brown mold, it's because of the heat that it's doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've just brought brown mold into an entire grove that is on fire.
Yeah.
Are we
It's
just going to
it's
create
right,
a mold
It's
grove?
right now going to the hottest thing.
This is evolution.
It's true.
Yeah. And consumes fire.
Next
Civilization.
adventure is all going to be
so
mold.
this is
Yeah,
really
civilization
awesome to the
introduces
So
problem.
it
something and
absorbs
it's
fire,
over.
putting it out to grow itself.
Okay, so it's just going to be a giant,
Yeah.
like,
Well, I mean,
region of mold
we can stop it. We've stopped it
by freezing it, right?
with cold
Yeah,
or
we
something.
Right.
yeah.
But you can't freeze a full grove.
No, we need to deal with this.
Just this
We
one
need to get
grove
green
order.
mold
So-
to absorb the brown mold.
You got it. It's just an evolutionary change. You got to get a bunch of bears.
Yeah, and then you get
Yeah.
eagles to eat the bears.
Yeah. And then snakes to poison the eagles.
Yeah.
The brown mold does make it around. However,
Nice.
it is any creature within 10 feet of it.
Right.
Oh, so we're
All in danger?
Play with fire, you get burned every now and then.
So
Cool,
you,
cool, cool, cool.
Astra, and the creature are going to need to make a what is this? Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, that's not bad.
So the creature, I have rolled 3, 4, 3 for this thing
Nice.
on its saves.
Shout out to Halo.
Astra.
Hello.
Oh, Astra didn't roll well either.
17.
You're the only one that saved. So you take half damage, 4d8.
jeez.
Okay.
No, you roll 4d8.
Oh, shit.
It's your brown mold. You roll for it. And with the brown molds, like
13.
13. Okay.
So I take half of that, which is
Okay.
7. Or rounded down, so 6.
Astra takes that. So you all of you can see as this brown mold like grows around. Doesn't quite make it to touch the elemental itself, but the cold starts to hit you, Aurora and Astra, as she just kind of looks over her shoulder, not aware that it was there the first time. But Apoc, you can see from your vantage point at the top, the brown mold is starting to move towards you as well. And from where Aurora first shattered the vial, you see it's now like a carpet. Like it is not moving, but it is growing in this area, very rapidly closing the distance. You were only 5 feet away from this creature.
I was hovering behind
He
the
did
You
say
were
he was
hovering.
wall.
You were
Yeah.
hovering.
Did say he was hovering up to 10 feet
Yeah.
above.
Lucky. Yep. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't quite hit you yet. But you can certainly start to feel the cool air. However, with that damage, you see as the creature takes it and it lets out this very primal scream.
It's cursed.
It's cursed?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It can't. It wastes its action.
It doesn't have an action.
Oh no, we're in trouble.
Because it lets out a primal scream as you see the cold just sort of very Thanos snappy just kind of turn this creature to ash as the warmth on your hands from touching this creature is no longer there as the creature just echoes into nothingness out of your fingers.
Was it in Primordial?
It was a scream. It wasn't saying anything, but it was very much like a very primal rage kind of thing.
Aw.
As the creature has been destroyed by the
I
brown
don't feel so good.
you feel Astra let go of your wrists and take her hands back.
Back up from the mold.
I was gonna say you do have a brown mold, and even as you do back up, it senses heat, guys. You're all heat.
Whose turn is it? 'Cause-
We're gonna drop out of the order, but you do still have a problem.
Yeah.
So Basil's gonna be like, not this again.
I just
Skadoosh. Frost sword and just walks up to the brown.
Ray of Frost.
Yeah.
Ray of Frost.
Everyone bring out their
Ray of
chili
Frost.
spells.
Apoc's just holding his frost potion. Yeah.
Have we freeze dried the mold?
Yes. With all of this freeze, you have been able to successfully freeze dry it into crisps.
Should I get some
I imagine it
I was
like,
like, do you
you
want
know
to?
when you like dry your sourdough starter into like crusty bits.
I do not know, but
Okay.
sure.
It looks. This is what I'm imagining. Crusty bits.
Great.
Yeah. Which can be woken up again. when necessary.
Right. For this one, it is very much dead. Like you take it and it kind of crumbles beneath
Wonderful.
your hands, sort of thing. It is useless in the cold.
That's great.
As you all take a moment to breathe and take away the threat of the brown mold around you, you all kind of slowly find yourselves turning to Astra, who is just sort of standing where she stood next to Aurora, just sort of looking at you all very sadly, with a very stoic expression on her face, and just, we might need to set some ground rules if we are to go into the grove together. And that's where we will take a break.